Another SEC win, good win. Proud of the way guys played for 4 quarters, competed hard, played physical. Obviously, offensively, there's some things early in the football game that have an opportunity to change the way the game's played, just not efficient, really. Second, third down, there's little things that lead into the 4th down that we don't end up converting on. But all in all, a really good night. Proud of the way guys responded. Gaston, the way he played, the young running backs getting an opportunity, played really well. Defensively, just gave up a couple of runs, but all in all, great night. I think they were, really good on 3rd downs again. So, open it up.
We'll go to Adam and then Paige.
Josh, just any injury update you can give on Nico, and can you say whether or not it's season-ending?
You're going to get right to the point, huh?
Yeah. Playoff committee will want to know.
We anticipate having him ready for next week. So, precautionary measure at halftime, and so feel like we'll be ready to roll next Saturday.
First opening drive touchdown since Kent State. What was it like just being able to finally convert in the first half?
Good to go score. It was. There's a lot left out there for us. But played hard, continued to play smarter through the course of it. So,
Josh, having a guy like Gaston, who's been around, knows the offense inside and out, and honestly probably carries himself with more confidence for a guy who's a walk-on than anybody I've ever seen. Like, what's that like to be able to have a kid like that you can just kind of put out there and he just kind of goes and plays?
Good to see him go operate the way that we know he can. Was a smart decision maker, aggressive when it was time, controlled everything from clock, play calls, checks. Did a really good job. So, when the guys found out he was going in, like they were excited for him and they believe in him, and so they went out and played the way they needed to make his job, easier for him too.
Rob, then Patrick.
Coach, in that situation, as a head coach, just how much of a luxury is it to have a defense playing the way your guys are playing right now?
Yeah, absolutely. The ebbs and flow of the game in the second half, where you're able to score, push the lead a little bit, and defense gets stopped, turnover. It changes the way, you're forced to play a little bit, and in particular on 3rd downs, but Gaston did a really good job in all of it. So.
Josh, having Max get back to himself this week, how
wasn't that awesome for him? You know what I mean? No, I'm legitimately outside noise. You can try to ignore it, and it's pretty hard to do in today's world. Talk about competitor resiliency, coming out, putting it between the uprights. Awesome for him, doing the things that we've seen in practice. So great job by him. The long one was a great kick.
David and Austin.
Josh, you talked before about the deep ball being it's not a high percentage throw a lot of times anyway, but.
Well, we want it to be.
Right.
There's been times where it's been high percentage for us.
When Gaston gets in there and draws 3 penalties from it, I guess is there an advantage to throwing it? If you don't hit a guy on the money, is there an advantage to underthrowing it a little bit compared to overthrowing?
All depends on what they're going to call.
Meaning, okay, gotcha.
Josh, talk about Boo tonight as a punt returner. Obviously, he's been finding his footing on defense for the last several weeks, but as a punt returner tonight, got to give him the full game. Had some big ones.
Yeah, Boo's dynamic, athletic, and just as a young player, just how he's continuing to grow and where you trust everything that goes into it as a returner, because that's essentially the quarterback back there and commanding and controlling and being a decision maker and just continue to grow. And saw tonight, man, he's dynamic with it in his hands, and so it was awesome to get that from him tonight. And Boo as a young player is just going to continue to get better and better, man, in all areas. So I'm really proud of what he's done, in a short amount of time here.
West and Page.
What was State able to do with the run? A couple times looked like there were some gaps that really this defense hasn't had much of this season. What was causing that?
Got downhill. We were out of gaps. Some of that was, just in our base front coverage. Some of it was pressure off the edge, and we're not playing it the right way. So they hit us on a couple, but I felt like we continued to get better throughout the course of the night.
Did Boobie Carter do anything specifically during practice to kind of take over that role and the special team opportunities?
Yeah, I think I said it to you guys earlier in the week, but you just keep stacking days and weeks, and it doesn't always happen when you want it to happen, but it will happen. And I think Boo's just consistency really over the last month has really, gained the trust from everybody on our staff for him to go operate the way he did tonight in that position.
Patrick.
Josh, after they scored to make it, I think 23-14, you guys ran the ball down the field several times and got the run game going. It seemed like they were loading the box quite a bit. What does it mean for your offense that you can run against, when the other team's expecting it?
Have some 8-man fronts tonight, and we're trying to find ways to create some angles for us and control some extra defenders on the backside within their structure. But at the end of the day, big guys up front move some people, and our tight ends were a huge part of it all night long as well. And obviously the running backs ran pretty well.
All right. All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
appreciate it,
I'll
guys.
see you shortly.
Thank you.
Have a great night.